Hello. It is day number 332 of 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. And today we are honoring our service hero. Now, her name, as you see there, is Misa Laree. However, if you turn things around, her true name is Lisa Marie. Yes, there's a story there. In fact, as I said earlier today, that she has had fun with her name because there's a famous child, wink, wink, of someone that has the same name. And when you Google, it can be confusing. And so our service hero today has taken it on to be Misa. And it's really stuck. In fact, when I first met her face to face, and it was like, oh, your real name is really Lisa? It was like, wait a minute. So anyway, Lisa, also known as Misa, she is incredible. She has come to Chemo Buddies for Life as a volunteer, yet she is a woman with a passion and a purpose and a mission to get out there and help a community that truly needs her and what it is that she is doing and how she is doing it. So I just want to say thank you for joining us today, Misa.
Well, thank you for having me.
I am so excited because I actually got to meet you face to face not long ago in Phoenix, Arizona. That's where you reside, right?
Correct.
And you were so amazingly wonderful because I needed to get home. I was going to try to stay one more day and meet with you during the day, but at the end, because of different things that were going on, I needed to go home a day earlier. And so I said, do you mind meeting me later in the day or in the evening? And you just said, you tell me when, you tell me where, I'll be there. How wonderful is that? I mean, how many people do that at the last minute? You did, and it really meant a lot to me. And I want to ask, what is it that we are doing with Chemo Buddies for Life that has attracted you to join us?
Well, I mean, that my whole passion in life is just being a servant, and I love helping others. I found your story a while back when I first started out with my own venture, with Souls with Scars, and I just got sucked in, and not in a bad way. All of you, everybody that's in the group, just each one of you has a plethora of knowledge and have helped me in so many different little areas of what I'm trying to do here in Arizona. And it's one of those things that when you find people in the world who are what I call, my friends, you want to hold on to them and do everything you can to help with anything, whether it's your passion or not. If you called me tomorrow and you were here and you needed something, I'd be right there for you because that's what friends do. So,
and and thank you for that. In fact, let's introduce. We have one of our Chemo Buddies, one of our friends here with us right now. I want to just say hello to Helene, one of our Chemo Buddies for Life. In fact, one of my Chemo Buddies, and she's saying hello to you.
Hi, Helene.
And I absolutely agree with you in regards to the people that we have that have joined us in the mission of supporting Chemo Buddies for Life and taking it out there. You can't find a better group of people, and everybody has, if you will, their day job, their mission that they have, that's their gig, if you will, their full-time deal. However, they are giving so much time, so much care, so much love, so much of themselves to this purpose. And we're seeing that relationships are starting and people are starting to like, how can I help you? What can I do for you? And there in your neck of the woods, it's really interesting that you have, and she actually joined us that evening, you have Tamara, who also has a passion for a certain community other than the cancer community, that you guys can even team up. You have a passion to help those people that have been affected by a variety of different things, one of which you are helping the military, correct?
Well, one of the biggest things I want to do is work with the veterans and our homeless population.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many of them out there that are living in their cars and in the desert, and they just need a help. I need a little helping hand. And I have some passions in the wing, trying to work with some grants and trying to get some things pulled in with my Souls with Scars. And once that happens, then hopefully I'll have an outlet for people who are trying to get back up out of where they're at, to have an opportunity to take a shower and let me cut their hair and put them in some new clothes and get them ready for an interview, and just those simple little things that so many take for granted.
Yeah.
That's where your passion lies.
And that's a service hero right there. And, thank you for that. And in fact, let's explore this. You said Souls with Scars. Tell us a bit about that. That's your mission. Tell us about that.
Well, Souls with Scars came into effect when I was doing some mentoring with the abused girls here in Arizona, from sex trafficking to rape to domestic violence, narcissism, marriages, you name it. I've helped different people with my story and didn't realize that I was really doing anything. And now I know that with that passion that I can help other people. Along came with that, Souls with Scars. There are so many different kinds of scars. It doesn't have to necessarily be rape or domestic violence. It can be the homeless. It can be veterans living in the desert. They all have souls, and they've all been scarred somehow. So that leaves a very open genre of souls that have been scarred. And hopefully with my story and what I can do to help, I'll be able to heal some of those scars. They'll still be there, but hopefully those wounds will go away and we can make it better.
And we can, can't we?
Absolutely.
And that's what's so incredible. In fact, I want to recognize some more people that are saying a few things. First of all, Helene is saying, thank you for helping Chemo Buddies for Life. I want to say I appreciate you for being there, for helping. And we have Swampy, as many of us fondly call him. Yes, it is an acronym, everyone. We have been given permission to call Kent Glade Swampy. And may I just say that this weekend on Saturday, he will officially be voted in as our Chemo Buddies for Life secretary. He is getting ready for all of that particular meeting. I want to say thank you for all of that work that you're doing, Swampy. He and Mary Ann Carrero, who is being voted in as our treasurer, they are both helping to make sure that Chemo Buddies for Life is completely compliant in every single category. And by golly, they are compliant officers. I will tell you that. And that's what you need. And yeah, wow, because again, we have Misa. Misa is one of she's on a couple of different teams. You've joined our fundraising team, and you are out there basically in helping to get the message out of what we're doing. And you come from the medical world. You've worked in the medical world. And so you, being a CNA, being a paramedic, being, working in ER and the different types of medical offices that you worked in, and then even going in and becoming like a paralegal type of person, but working for an air ambulance kind of a service, you have been around the arena where you see when people have support, and possibly how that helps them. And then I'm sure you've seen it when you wonder where's the person to help this person. And
absolutely.
And it creates a whole different
it's a whole different dynamic.
Right. Why don't we talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, and that aside having cancer in the medical world, period, from having a broken leg or being a traumatic fire and being burned or just whatever the chaos is in the medical field, having a network of people or a person that can take you by the arm and help you through that process is huge. Mm-hmm. And the hospitals don't have the funding to have those kind of groups. It would be great if they did, but having groups like yours outside of the facilities, if I'd have known about you, or you were back in the 80s available to me when I was working in the hospital, you would have been inundated with people because you'd have been the first person I'd have called when something happened and there was somebody at the hospital with cancer that didn't have anybody to go to. Right. Or didn't have somebody there all by themselves. Their family was thousands of miles away.
Right.
So that's huge. It's huge.
It is. I want to recognize Erin. Erin's here. We all know Erin. She's like my assistant, and then she helps with everybody. And she is. She's like the glue that's holding us all together. So thank you for being here, my dear Erin. And in fact, Swampy's like, everybody's like, hello, Erin. She's like this rock star now with all of us, because she really does help. Because to make anything happen, it takes an amazing amount of people. It takes team, and it takes people with a passion and purpose. And you there in Phoenix, I will say you have some of the better medical facilities in your neck of the woods. You have the Mayo Clinic West.
That's how I ended up here, Tamara. I lived in California. I wouldn't have uprooted two young boys and come to Arizona. I got married and I moved here. It took a man to move me. But in the midst of all of that 15 years ago, I didn't know that my son had a brain tumor. And Barrow is the #1 in the nation place to go for any kind of head injury, brain surgeries, or anything like that. I had no clue. I found that out when my son was 20 years old and had a brain tumor. And that's why we're here. So when you say that, the doctors that were there were from Egypt and Tibet, and they're training them here in Phoenix. So yes, we have a plethora of talent when it comes to the medical field here.
You do. And in fact, that's one of the reasons that I started going there to Phoenix so much, is because we are building that network up. Because what we are doing with Chemo Buddies for Life is that we are using the digital platform, and we are building our ability to have the site where people can come together digitally. However, when you can have people in your backyard and you can have that kind of support, that is critically important. And to be able to be building all of this simultaneously, it is huge. And I have to say thank you to one of our senior ambassadors, and that helped to us to, in the beginning, start being recognized by Cancer Centers of America. We're on the preferred list to be able to get our people in, which is one of the premier cancer centers, of course. And and then I know equally we have the Mayo Clinic, which, who doesn't know the Mayo Clinic, right, for all the research and their forward thinking. I mean, if you guys haven't seen the docudrama about the foresight that they had in Minnesota when they put that all together, it gives an idea of what the medical world, where it was going. Now, what we are doing with Chemo Buddies for Life, and we are talking a lot about that because right now we are counting down to our big event that is taking place on Giving Tuesday, December the 2nd and 3rd, and Misa is helping with us in regards to that. And so this is a combo Service Hero show today. We're talking about and highlighting Misa for what she is doing, and then also talking about Chemo Buddies for Life. And I really do want to make this part clear, because we are talking about the medical. It doesn't matter what type of treatment you decide to choose once you hear you have cancer or someone that you know does, because we support the patient and those people that love and support them. Our whole stand is find what works for you. Traditional, alternative, adjunctive, just don't do it alone. Right. Be a part of a community. And that's what, when we were talking before we went live, that was almost like came right out of your mouth in regards to your program with Souls with Scars, in that too many people are feeling isolated and alone, and that is working against them for being able to get off the streets, for being able to get themselves out of the desert. I mean, when you think about that, that's pretty significant. That
Well, you know what? This morning, I just throw this out here because you just made me think about it. My husband and I, we try to, when we go through our stuff, our clothes, our shoes, everything in the house, kind of thing. We always try to go find a homeless community or people out there, because I'd much rather go to people that really need it than, to give it to Goodwill and go back next week and buy it back, because that's usually
yeah.
So I thought, we're out here in the area where we live in Queen Creek, Santan Valley. I called the sheriff's department and asked them where the homeless people kind of bay around. And, most cities know, oh, they're over there by that place.
Yeah, I do. Mm-hmm.
They transferred me to 8 different before one person finally got on the phone and said, well, I think they're blah, 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 blah. And I thought to myself, how sad is that? The sheriff's department doesn't even know where the homeless or the people that are panhandling or whatever it is that they're doing to try to get help. And that's a sad situation in itself again, because now there are so many rich people that do this every day, make themselves look like they're homeless and they're not. So trying to stamper up between the two. But I just thought it was funny that the sheriff's department couldn't give me an answer that quick as to where I needed to go get people clothes.
That is interesting.
There's not even a shelter here. There's not, the closest one is, 50 miles away, 40 miles away. And it's like, that's not fair. So there's people here out in the rural area where we live, and several veterans that we know of that are living in the desert and afraid to even come out to mingle with people. So we've got a big mission here that needs to be taken care of, and just not enough people to do it. So I'm going to try one at a time.
And that is exactly why we're highlighting you right now, also with what you're doing and where your passion is because, and I'm gonna suggest that you're not trying, you're actually doing, to make that phone call to some people that are trying, they would say, oh, I'm going to make that phone call. You actually got on the phone. You searched through your items. You had your items ready to go. Then you're ready to, okay, I'm going to put them in the car. I'm going to go drive them. Where do I go? Right. And you make the phone call. And yeah, in my neck of the woods, because I am very, very aware of our situation with the homeless and everything, we have safe zones for them, because it's safe for them. It's safe for the community. It's a much better deal in creating environments where, because we're in Southern California and people do come here, and like with you in your area outside of Phoenix, because of the weather. Mm-hmm. When it's cold and you're on the streets, it's hard to be on the streets of Chicago, though. Right. We know a lot of people that are involved in our organization with Chemo Buddies that also are involved with helping the people that are on the streets in Chicago, because it's happening everywhere. So going forward, because I know that right now you're in the process, you are a coach, that you have coaching programs. You've been a coach for a long period of time, and you help people. That your program is Life After Abuse. Why don't we talk about that? Because with your medical background, your paralegal background, your community activism, if you will, and being able to get out there and make things happen, what is Life After Abuse? How are you helping people?
Well, there's so many people out there that think that because they've been through this, program or this periodic moment in their life, whether it be 5 years, 10 years, and a couple of days, whatever it may be, I just want them to understand that there is life after it. A lot of the times that I was going through, I'm saying to myself, in here. What life do I have? Nobody ever said to me, hey, you're going to get through this. There is life after this. I know now that it seems to be that there are so many outlets. We have social media. Back in our day, you and I, We'll tell our age a little bit here. You couldn't get on the internet and find, a place for suicide or a place for counseling, or we had to go knock on a door somewhere at some clinic or some place in town to get a referral or a reference, or where do I go? And many times people don't want to admit they have a problem or they need help, and they don't want to go knock on a door. So I just try to get out there. I'm still trying to get my book done, just to let people know that there is life after being abused, whether it was domestic abuse, physical abuse, emotional, mental, narcissistic, whatever. That's where the Souls with Scars comes into play. You only know your scars. You know the abuse that you've been through. Can't compare to anybody else's. They may understand if they've been through something similar, but I just want everybody to know that there is life after it. And I'm living proof right here. I did it. So if I can do it, they can too.
I love it. Let's catch up on some of the comments, because we've got quite a few of them going on. First of all, in fact, I think Kent or Swampy actually used to live in the Valley of the Sun. I believe that that's the case. So he loves the Valley of the Sun. And Helene, thank you for saying this. She's saying that she's thankful, and it is November. It's the time of Thanksgiving. A lot of people are doing that 30-day thankful challenge right now that I think is just amazing out there. And so thank you for mentioning that, Helene. And 3, 2, 1. I'm thinking blast off. Okay. I love our group.
Swampy, what trip are we supposed to get on to go with you?
And then they're talking about that yes, one of my favorite places, Erin's from the Utah area, and I know that she does like going to, in fact, she's been mentioning going to Phoenix. And thank you for saying that, Swampy. It's so great when everybody is getting to know each other's stories. And that's why I really wanted to start highlighting our volunteers. I've been highlighting on very short little, the countdown in the morning, but I wanted to be able to bring you guys on so that everybody could get to know who you are, what you're doing, what your story behind the story is. Because when you understand why someone is willing to serve and be a service hero, it can sometimes inspire others to want to do the same thing. So thank you for that. And, I love this. Thank you for caring for others. So this one makes me fun.
You know what else too, Tam, that you were just talking about that when we kind of talked about this a little bit when we met up in Phoenix. Working with you with Chemo Buddies for Life is our big event right now. And then one of us down the road may need some help with an event we're doing. The really cool thing about that, let's say next year at this time, I decide to do a fundraiser for Souls with Scars, and we get out there and we do the same on, I'm just making this up right now, but we do something big like this. People that have already been through this program or this fundraiser with Chemo Buddies for Life will see you and Erin and Swampy and all of them. They'll be like, oh my gosh, I remember this person from Chemo Buddies. Oh, you remember when they did this? Those kind of things click. And that's where having your tribe and your network, what I can't do in Southern California, you can. And what you can't do in Phoenix, I can. So having, being able to have this online, that's great. But having somebody physically there, if for some reason something came up and one of the hospitals here decided they wanted to give you a big donation, but they weren't willing to do it online, I only want to do it with somebody in person. Right. I have your ENI. I have the information. I can go there for you physically and say, hi, my name is Meetsa, here it is. And they'll do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
Network is huge.
Right. And being one of our ambassadors and volunteers and working with the program, understanding what we are doing. And it is huge. And story behind the story is what keeps us focused and being the change. And that's exactly right. Because when we can be in all of these different places throughout the United States and the globe, because we've got other areas in the United States and the world that are working with us, we then are showing that number one, amazing people that have a passion and a purpose can gather together and make something happen. And when you have two or more people, amazing and miracles truly do take place. Then when, like you were saying, you start doing your program and your purpose, and you need to call upon people that you already know. There's trusted advisors, there's people that you've worked together, and you that energy creates more energy. And that's why I actually was just on another I was in another meeting just right before this show, and we were talking about the fact that I'm going to be on a radio show this Friday, and they were talking about the next impactor, the first global next impactor. And I said, one of the things that I'm so humble and grateful for is that so many of the volunteers that are working with us are, not only do we have 4 of the 5 top winners within the next impactor that are working with us, one of which has joined the board, but we have many others that were in some way or fashion or form involved in that program. Okay, so they all came to the next impactor, or the first global next impactor, because of the fact that they want to make a change in the world. And now they're joining our forces. We will then help them. And this is how you can actually make change in the world. And we've been talking about this,
Right.
how one person can actually make a change. However, really, it takes more than one, but it's that one that attracts the other one. And then the other, and then everybody comes together. It's like right now, we have Noelle Agape, again, one of the ones she came from the next impactor, and she's from San Diego. And in fact, I can't wait. We are just right now putting together, she just did a little blog for us, and we're going to be putting it out there. So thank you for that. She's on a couple of our teams. And the idea that you are in Phoenix, you worked in the medical world, you're a paramedic, you worked in the ER, you CNA, and then you have Noelle Agape, San Diego, a healer, master's prepared. Now, how, and yes, I met Noelle because of the first impactor, but when you think about it, 2 people that are involved in the healing world, 2 different areas of the United States, what are the odds that you would have met each other? Possibly, because of the kind of circles that we run in. However, volunteering and coming together, now you're having an opportunity to meet this amazing woman, among others. She's having this opportunity. She's here visiting with us, and that is then helping those people that are affected by cancer.
Right.
That's pretty incredible when you start looking at it, right?
Absolutely. That's one of the things that I said, Jason, all of them, Christopher, you didn't look at me and say, oh, well, she doesn't have her book yet. And, oh, she's not this. And, oh, well, she really doesn't have much going. I've only been doing this for several months, and I'm still wet behind my ears and trying to figure it all out. But the really cool thing about it is I know that I can call you, or I can call Noelle, or I can call Aaron. One of you guys is going to have the answer for me. And it's just the network and what's the word they use for it? Your tribe. I love that word. I feel like I'm a part of your tribe, even though I don't have experience that you guys. You don't look at me like I'm the one over there. You opened your arms and took me on like I was just at the next impactor too. And I just love you all for it. I think you're all amazing.
Well, okay, so this is what I want to say, because, okay, let's be real here. Misa volunteered for the fundraising team. Okay, that's huge in my mind. And then she's like, okay, we are going to do this. It's like, okay, we are going to take names and we're going to do this and that. This energy that you have, that is incredible. And you cannot have any kind of a nonprofit. You cannot have any kind of a tribe or a movement without having that kind of infusion of energy and belief and enthusiasm. And you're here right now and you're sick. And yet you're like, okay, no, I'm doing this. I may not be feeling really well, but we're not rescheduling. I'm here because I want to be here. That
Absolutely.
says so much to me. And I really wanted to bring that up because that says so much to other people, is when you're not necessarily feeling good and yet you're willing to put yourself out there because you believe in what the cause is, and talking about it and getting that message out, that's priceless.
Yeah, and like that's what I was telling Tamara the other night, that I'm doing some emailings. I don't feel like I'm doing a whole lot. I'm trying to do everything I can. I hope I can bring in a bunch of money. I'm praying for it, but I lay there the other night and I thought, gosh, what if I don't really do a great job? I'm going to be so mad at myself. I need to get out there and just knock down doors or something.
Well, I will tell you this, and this is what, it's pretty amazing. I'm getting excited, guys, because when you have something that is so important, people show up. And we have someone that we have our leadership meeting tonight, and I'm going to be sharing this. But we have someone that has shown up, that has said, I'd love to teach your fundraising team. And we will have a Zoom call there. He's going to be teaching us what to do. He's even going to be giving us scripts. This is a very, very successful person that said, how can I serve? This is what I can do. Would it be of service? And I'm thinking, oh, yes, right?
For sure.
Yes.
You want to know what I did the other night? I watched Jerry Lewis telethons because I wanted to find out how they were so exciting. Even as a kid, I loved watching them because he was just so amazing. So I'm thinking, gosh, what can we take from him to pull into this arena too? Because he did them every year and he was amazing. So, okay, I want to be the Jerry Lewis of today for you. That's what.
Well, there you go, because that's exactly where we're going, guys. We are on our second year. This is our second annual. This year it's called a give-a-thon. Last year was a telethon. We are going to be doing this yearly, and we have taken Giving Tuesday as our day to live stream, and next year we are going to be that much bigger. We are claiming the Jerry Lewis telethon modern day version, and so, in fact, when I was talking about it, I won't mention names, but someone will know who I'm talking about, that I was talking about this, and they were like, Jerry Lewis, what? And I was like, you don't know? I know. It was like, and now it's been a few of them. I'm like, oh, I guess I am at the tail end of the baby boomers. Wink, wink.
Right. I'm not telling anybody my age. That's why I put on a bandana so you couldn't see my gray hair.
I love it. I love it. We have Christy. Christy, can I just, I love it when the gang's all here. Christy is amazing, and thank you, Christy. She has been working tirelessly with Tony in regards to our website and doing so much work for us. I can't even say thank you enough for being on our team, Christy. Thank you for your service. And everybody's saying hello to her. And then Helene's giving you a vote of approval, saying, hey, you are doing a good job. And you are doing an awesome job. I'm proud of you. And Erin, Christy, hey, I love this when everybody, because this right here shows the fun that we actually are having as a team that's putting this together, right?
Well, and the thing that I have to say, you don't have to spend your day saying, I appreciate you, I appreciate you, I appreciate you, because just the fun that we have and the things like this, we all know we're appreciated, whether you're doing this much or you're doing this much.
Right.
Job is important. And those people out there that are afraid to volunteer, let me tell you this, do not be afraid. Because even if you bring in $10, you're still doing something, and something is better than nothing. 0 is 0, 10 is 10. So if you have a heart to help, just get out there and do it.
And may I even say this? Let's be real. That the energy going forward, money is energy, volunteerism is energy, stories are energy, inspiration is energy. Right now, you being here, not feeling well, and saying, nope, I'm not canceling, Tamara. I am going to be there. I'm not letting anybody down. That right there is priceless. That is energy. And and when you have people that believe in that, anything is possible. So let's talk about the event that we're putting on. Pretty exciting, right?
Absolutely. I'm super excited. I have no clue how I'm pointing in there yet, but I know that you'll just send me a link and I'll be there, and that's all that I have to worry about.
That's right. So we are putting on a Giving Tuesday event that is a give-a-thon. It's 36 hours of streaming media. And we are going to be entertaining you. We are going to be inspiring you. You will be being able to be healing through art, healing through music, healing through laughter, healing through hobbies, all of the above. And you'll be able to do this in the comfort of your jammies, should you like. And think of it this way. We are the modern day telethon. We actually, because of our gurus, our technical gurus, we even have a calling team, which is our health and wellness team. They are preparing to take phone calls, and it was just set up. We haven't announced the number yet, but we now have a toll-free number that we will have live people. Yes, we are going to have live people on the other line that will be able to take someone's pledge, take someone's donation, and should they want to be donating in honor of someone, we will be listening to them, taking that story, and if they want to tell that story online, we are going to have it set up that they can even come on and tell us about who it is that they are honoring. This is completely a hybrid of anything that has been done before. Well, I'm pretty excited.
I think that's amazing that, because so many people, you know, what's the word? Not that they go unnoticed, because family members don't go unnoticed, but what a way to be able to put them on some kind of a platform or put them on a pedestal for an evening. I lost both of my grandmothers to cancer. I've lost all my family to cancer. There's not much of us left. I've got me and a couple of my sisters and two aunts left, and that's it. The rest of my family is gone. So to be able to, even if I did a $20 donation for each one of them, just to get a snippet of, this is from my mom and my grandma, and just given that moment, I think that's a huge blessing for many. And I think a very healing thing for a lot of people who maybe weren't able to get to where they needed to be when their family member was passing, or they're stuck in a different part of the world because they couldn't get to the funeral and they feel guilty. There's another way to heal the soul. Here's the souls with scars. These people have that little hurt inside. That's another way for them to say, you know what, I didn't get to say goodbye to my mom the way I needed to, but I'm going to donate $30 just to get her name out there for that evening, to let her know that that's how much I loved her. Just something simple like that can make all the difference in somebody's healing.
Right. And we even have this beautiful, either in honor of or forever or memorial of. We've got a few different versions that was created for this. And I want to thank Brooke Curran for that has created our beautiful logos and images. They're so unique and so chemo buddies for life. When you look at the hearts, that's to represent the buddies, and purple, of course, is the universal cancer color. And if you really look at the hearts, they're kind of like ribbons. We're not quite the ribbon group. However, they do have that bit of a ribbon flair or feel to them.
And they're intertwined, arm in arm, together.
Right. Yes. And so I just wanted to share that we will, should anybody go to the site now even and donate. And if you donate in honor of someone, we will, once we know who this is, we will create an image that you will be able to share with that logo and with their name, and so that they will be someone that you'll be able to have that post. You can, even without, because sometimes people have the privacy issue, and I get that. I've got some family members that have chosen not to put pictures out there in memorial. There are others that have no problem with it. It just depends on where you're coming from. However, to have an image like this where it can be in remembrance of, in honor of, and it's something you can either post or you can have it yourself, and then to be able to share the story. We want to let people know that we are creating, like you said, a tribe, a community. We're creating really a home where people can come and feel that they're valued, that they're welcomed, they can have some fun, some humor, hope, and heart, and some music. We're healing through music. I love it.
I have my phone on silent.
Don't even worry about it, because in honor of the legacy that our loved ones have left for us. Absolutely.
Well, and you know what, too, Tim? You get, when you look at the veterans, excuse me, they have a wall that their names are on that you can go visit. People who have passed from cancer, there's not a wall and there's not a place. So here's another way of recognizing that. And
yep,
maybe as time goes on, you'll be able to add to your web space that people can come in and put a name and what they passed from, or just some way to, or hey, they had breast cancer and they survived. Just
right,
just where people can go and look on that wall like the veterans do. And sometimes people going through cancer and some of the things you're going through. One of my best friends' mom is going through it now, and she didn't have her daughter with her every single day, and every time she goes to any kind of treatment or anything, I don't even think they know about Chemo Buddies for Life. I haven't even talked to her about it because I'm just afraid to even say the word cancer in front of her because she's so fragile right now. But I want to put her name out there, and I'm going to, and I'm going to talk to her about it.
Well, good, because that, first of all, the honor wall, yes, that is in the works for the big site that we're creating, and it will be on the public side, because there's going to be a public, and then there'll be a enter through a porthole into the other side, which will be free. It's a nonprofit, but we want to be able to, yes, recognize those people that have passed. And then the idea of how Chemo Buddies for Life is working is that, sometimes you just don't know how to go about saying, okay, you might want to check this out. Having a place where they can go on their phone when they're quiet and no one has to know that they're looking, and they have a resource that they can maybe be entertained, maybe check into the community, maybe match up with a buddy. That is what we are building. For now, I'm so excited to announce that we do have the ability for people to, it's been asked, how do you become a buddy? Well, right now you go to our website for the event, which is cb4l.org, and you can go to the area that is, Erin, remind me what it's called. It's basically Become a Buddy. There's an area for Become a Buddy, but it's under Get Involved. Get involved, and then you can either become a volunteer or you can become a buddy, is what that Get Involved tab is. So right now, and then it's very simple. Fill out the questionnaire and we will contact you, because right now we've been doing it manually. Once we get the beta site up, which we are building, then you'll be able to go in and be able to start matching and getting involved in groups, like-minded groups within the community that are going to be led by subject matter experts, volunteers. So exciting. It is our community. There's nothing else like it. And it is within our bylaws, even, it is that 51% going forward, 51% of the board, 51% of the employees, they must be one way or another been affected by cancer. And so it always remains a movement from the people that it's serving. That's pretty significant, especially in the cancer arena. We're pretty proud of that.
I agree. I'm very excited to see what's going to come. And I'm just glad that you decided to take me by my hand and let me come along on this miraculous, wonderful ride with this group of amazing, crazy, laughter. I mean, gosh, what else can you, what kind of words can you put? I mean, just the most wonderful, loving, caring people. And, you know, they're all on my friends list now. And I have a bunch more friends because of you. And I'm just glad I get to be a part of all of this.
Well, thank you for doing that because, you know, yeah, we are crazy. And I will say, because of winning the first Global Next Impactor, we won, like tonight, we get to go visit with one of my coaches, which is actually all of our coach, the Bold Avenger, Jason Cisneros. And he did actually miss one of our meetings just recently. And you actually kind of took his persona on. It was so funny.
I'm just sad I don't get to be there to meet him in person. You're going to have to make him come to Phoenix. We're going to have like after this is all said and done, just you all need to come here so that we can all get together and have a big dinner or something and just hang out and hug on each other and love on each other and just be a big, big team again.
I love it. I love it. So yes. Oh, thank you, Erin. Here we go. So that's where you go to get involved. If you want to have some fun with us, come join us as a volunteer because it is truly fun. We are having a great time. And we're now bringing in the entertainment. We're going to start having some of them coming on the show, and you'll get to see what they're going to be performing or how they're going to be entertaining us or how they're going to be inspiring us. And we also here at Get Involved, that's where you can go fill out the questionnaire. If you know someone that needs a buddy, if you need a buddy, either you're the patient or you are a support person. And I really want to stress, if you are a support person and you've lost your patient has gained their wings. You are a buddy. And if you hear their name, if you continue crying because of it, there's something in your soul that you need to be reassured, be loved, maybe share with another, be there for another person that is a support buddy. That's what this is all about, is serving each other. It's the service hero idea, and it is working.
Tam, let me ask you really quick, because you just brought up something that maybe a lot of people out there are thinking about. So you've got somebody who's dealing with their cancer and they have their support person, brother, sister, aunt, uncle, whoever it may be. And maybe the person who's dealing with the cancer doesn't really want to be involved in this, but the person who is their support person does. We support them as well too, correct?
Oh, yes, 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 yes. In fact, there in your neck of the woods, we have one of the resident experts. Her name is Camille, Dr. Camille Simpson. She actually has written a book in regards to this subject, and there is a lot of studies that show that sometimes even the support people, they end up tearing themselves up, getting sick, working too hard, not giving themselves a break, and they sometimes can end up sicker than the patient that they're supporting. So they need their own buddy. And the whole idea here is that to have someone that understands. You may have a really great support system in your home, in your family, in your community, in your group, supporting that person with cancer. However, A support person's chair is never the same chair as the person that is the patient. They come from two different chairs. They can talk with each other, but they're never going to completely understand each other. And there's a disconnect in there. And that can create a lot of stress in an already stressful situation. So if that situation is occurring where the patient, that happens, is not open to having a buddy, but the support person just needs to talk, vent, be supported, learn coping skills, figure out a way to get through this, we are definitely there for them. Absolutely.
That's good. And I think that we really need to talk about that, because so many people, I always use Alcoholics Anonymous as a compared to, they have Al-Anon, which is another group for people who are the spouses or the support factors or the parents or whoever it is that's helping that other person. So sometimes they don't realize that their role is just as important and that we want to be there for them too. So I just wanted to make sure we address that.
Thank you for doing that. Absolutely. In fact, we have experts that are really, their mission is to let that support person know how critically important it is for them to have self-care, how critically important it is for them to be heard and to be not, sometimes they feel that it's their role to become almost invisible because the patient is the one that right now needs the attention. But they all do. And in having this nonprofit, that they can come home and they can feel like, okay, I'm accepted. This is a safe place for me. And I feel valued. And it's okay to laugh, and it's okay to have self-care, and it's okay to
say, I can't do this for a couple of days. I need a break.
Exactly.
And they need to know how to resource that. And when you have like maybe only one other person besides yourself, that's where, coming in to talk to us for a little bit or talk to you or whoever, like you said, you just need to go in the bathroom and run that bath and escape for a little while. It doesn't make you a bad person because you need to walk away from cancer for a few days. It doesn't make you bad at all. And you need that healing time too.
Right. And so this is where I'm glad that you brought that up. And that's why we're talking about all of this is so that people understand what it is that we are bringing out to the world. Because in simple truth is that it is a simple concept. However, it is a huge program. And when you start boiling it down to the simple pieces of it, it is all about the people. Absolutely. It is really all about the people.
I agree with you 100%. And like I said, I'm so excited to be a part of this. I've been an emailing fool. I am going to be getting out there next week and knocking on some doors and, spreading the word. And I'm even going to go put some flyers on, windshields and whatever I can else do.
There you go. So if you're in the Phoenix area and you want to support us, we are still looking for some sponsors. And let it be known that if you sponsor us right now, you're going to be sponsoring us going into next year too. And you can't get a better deal really because of the PR team that I won. Once we get this really rocking and rolling, we are going to be launching that PR team. And if you are associated with us, that's a pretty good deal. Plus it's tax deductible. We are a 501c3.
Everybody needs a tax write-off. Everybody.
Right.
Especially those big corporations.
Exactly. So every single penny counts. Every single penny. And the more pennies we bring together, the more we're going to be able to implement the programs that we have ready. We just need to be able to launch them. So I just want to say thank you for being the service hero you are. As we start to close this, what would you like to say to people? What are any pearls of wisdom? Any of your favorite thoughts in regards to overcoming?
I don't think there are any pearls of wisdom. I think it just comes down to the golden rule. I've lived by it my entire life, and I'll continue to live by it until I take my last breath, that I treat people the way I want to be treated. Always remember that you're not walking in that person's shoes, whether it be the waitress that serves you your food or somebody walking down the street that bumped into you. We live in such a chaotic world, and there's so much more fun to be had in loving people and showing that love through what you do, whatever your passion is. If you don't have anything that you're doing other than just your day-to-day job, that's fine too. But a reflection of you is what people see. So if you're going to be mean and nasty every day, then that's the kind of stuff you're going to get. But I have found that if you hang out with people like, whoops, my finger's wrong. If you hang out with I forget it's backwards on the camera.
Oh, that right. Yeah. Yeah.
You hang out with people and you just treat people the way you want to be treated, life is so much more fun. And giving, oh gosh, I do the things that I do because I know I have a higher power that I'm answering to. And eventually I'm going to get up there, and I want him to be really proud of me for all the things I did down here. So just love everybody like the way you want to be loved, and always remember to smile at somebody, because that could be the day that they just want to give up, and that smile can make all the difference in the world.
Absolutely. That's what we call that. We all have a service hero inside. And when we do get that smile, really, truly, there's something magical in a smile. There is something magical in opening a door for someone. Yeah. It never stops to amaze me. I actually had to go somewhere today, and I was out there, and this young lady opened the door for me, and she waited there a little longer. A young lady, and I just was so grateful. I just gave her a huge smile, told her thank you, and I thought, wow, what a kind, loving heart that young lady had.
And when that happens to me, do you know what I say to them so they do it again? Wow, there still are wonderful people left in this world. It makes them think. After they get done holding that door open for you and they go get their Coke or whatever it is they're doing, you know that they're thinking, wow, how many people have I done that for today? Just that difference. And a lot of them don't even realize how important of what a thing they just did. Right. So give them something to think about. Always give them something to chew.
That. What an amazing pearl of wisdom. So we're going to say donate today, donate often, become a sponsor, become an affiliate, and yes, this is we are raising funds and awareness for Chemo Buddies for Life, and it's always so much fun to do this with our.
Because you never know when your fingers go.
It's all backwards. It's backwards, guys. So this is, it's fun. Streaming media. It's the wild, wild west of streaming media. So, as we close. Day number 332 of 365 days of awesome. Celebrate success through service. Misa, also known as Lisa, you are truly a service hero extraordinaire. Your heart, your soul, your whole life is all about service. Like you said, you from your whole life until your last moment, you believe in the golden rule. And I know for a fact, because I have seen it, you live it. You do. You give. You were there when I was like, okay, this is the last minute and it's late. You were like, absolutely, I will be there. You were the first one there with a big, huge smile. Let's do this. You are here and you're not feeling well yet. You said, I'm not going to let you down. You are our resident fun when we have our coach MIA. No, he wasn't MIA. He had something else he had to be at. But, you keep it fun. I cannot say thank you enough for being you and being a part of our team. I appreciate you so very much.
Thank you for having me, and thank you for bringing me aboard. I just love and adore you, and I'm so happy to be a part of this group.
Well, you're with us, and I love it. Okay, everybody, go out there. Be a service hero for another. Donate now, donate again, get your phone out, cb4l.org. It's easy. And talk to others, because we are making a difference one person at a time.
And two, let me throw in there really quick, Tam. If there's anybody here in the Phoenix area, Santan, Mesa, Gilbert, Chandler area, anywhere, and you guys want to help and you haven't talked to Tamara, but you can find me too, and I'll get you in connection with whoever you need to be in connection with, and the more people, the merrier. So
yeah, in fact, you guys could have a party there in Phoenix. Let's get a party going in Phoenix. We got other parties going on. We got Toronto going on. We got Florida going on, and we're working on others. Let's get a Phoenix party going on, and we'll stream live from there. All right, guys. See you later. See you tomorrow morning.
Honey.
Bye. See you tonight at the leadership.